Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and this is a sub $40,000 bargain in the compact crossover class. This is the 2024 fully loaded Hyundai Tucson Limited all-wheel drive. And in this video, I'm going to see if some of the trade-offs that Hyundai made to get this under $40,000 make this a true bargain or a slight miss in the class. Stay tuned. Before we get too far into this one, I do want to thank Hyundai for delivering us this vehicle to test for a full week for you here on the channel. As per usual, we'll start under the hood, which is really where the story of this one kind of takes a negative turn because everything else is generally very positive on this vehicle. As I mentioned, this is the gas-powered, not the hybrid, limited all-wheel drive. So to that end, we get a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, 2.5 liters, and unfortunately, it's just a little on the anemic side. This is the second time we've had this vehicle, this trim on the channel, and that still hasn't changed for us. We feel like the 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque going to all four wheels through an 8-speed automatic is just a little bit on the low side. I really would have loved to have seen the turbo 1.6 in this or something like that. This one just seems a little bit weak to me. Closing the hood on this, we can truly appreciate the fun, unique styling that Hyundai has applied to this Tucson. This is not a new platform. Again, we've had a couple on the channel already, or this is our second on the channel, but it is so much fun to see what they are doing in the style and design department. You can see the running lights actually are integrated into the grille. This is the same front clip that is used on the Santa Cruz mini pickup truck. And I know that the lights are kind of flickering here on camera, but I assure you they are solid LED lights. And when they're off, it just looks like the elements in the grille. It's a very cool look. You get these divorced headlights from those running lights and get LED lights all the way around. We do actually have some air pass-through right here next to the headlights. It's kind of hard to tell, but generally a fun, clean look up front here. A very modern, very pleasing look all the way around. Nice, kind of rounded, fun styling. But as we get around to the side here, everything gets a little sharper and more angular. You can see all the body lines that we've got going down the sides. And yes, I do apologize at how dirty this is. This is the first somewhat clear day we've had the entire time we've had this vehicle. We've put over 400 miles on this one going to Round Rock, Texas and back. We'll get into fuel economy when we get inside. Generally, it's been a very comfortable vehicle. Coming down to the wheels and tires, we get these 19-inch alloy wheels wrapped in Michelin Primacy Tour all-season tires. They're very good. They're 235/55 R19s. And this is the same style tire that we've seen on some high-end luxury products like the GMC Sierra Denali. So very good tire. Michelin makes an excellent tire. As we get around to the side, you can see we do have that kind of rugged SUV-like look with all the flat black plastic lower cladding on this. But again, very angular chiseled design all the way down the sides. And it really gives it a unique look in the segment. You've got the rounded exterior with all the chiseled lines there in the middle. I really like the way that satin silver strip separates the roof from the body. It's a very clean, very nice look in my opinion. As we move around to the back, again, more chiseled lines back here, more unique elements. We get this full width LED light bar in the back. LED taillights, LED brake lights, LED all the things back here. I will go ahead and show you. Let's pop in really quick and turn on the hazards because the lighting situation on this vehicle is also very unique and perhaps just a slight miss for me. You can see the turn signals are actually down in the bumper, which is really low, especially here in Texas where we have a lot of pickup trucks on the road that are lifted. Just an interesting, very low placement instead of putting them in the taillights. I know US regulations keep all the important lights from being on a movable panel. Perhaps that's the reason. Otherwise, very nice look back here. Hyundai gives you the logo underneath glass here. So this is completely flat here, but it is a textured logo. You can see we also do have a rear wiper, but it is hidden nicely up underneath the rear spoiler. This does have the remote keyless access to the rear, but the vehicle is running right now so that I could show you all the lights and everything. So I can't just stand back here, but if you lock the vehicle and walk away, come back with the key in your pocket, you can just stand behind the vehicle. It'll beep 3 times at you before the rear hatch opens. And when it does, you've got tons of cargo space in this one. I'm gonna give you the SAE official cargo numbers on this one. Hyundai does have some varying numbers that on their website that are slightly higher, but 38.7 cubic feet of storage space behind the rear seats. That is enormous. That is much more than full-size SUVs like the Chevy Tahoe behind its 3rd row. Fold the 2nd row seats down, you get 74.8 cubic feet. But as you can see here, this is not the only cargo storage configuration here. See, we've got my backpack in here for scale. We'll go ahead and remove that from the back. We have a false load floor here with our spare tire, but you can pull this out and drop it down. And now we've got just a little bit of extra cargo storage height for taller items. You can see we're no longer flush to the back of the vehicle here. And if we were to fold these seats down, which you can do from here because they are 60-40 split bench, although this one didn't want to go down all the way, it's not going to be a completely flush load floor either. Let's see if I can get this one to go down. You can see it's on the back of the seat, but there we go. The seat is folded down completely, and yes, it's not flush, but we can get that back simply by lifting the floor back into place, which is a really nice touch. I like that a lot. Power liftgate opens up plenty wide for me. I'm 5'10", plenty of room in here, fits in our garage perfectly. It's a 1963 built home, 2 single bay garage doors. This is like the perfect vehicle for our garage. It can even park on the side with our extra refrigerator. Power hatch button is up here. You push it, you get a few beeps warning you that it's about to come down. Before we get in this one, I did want to show you the key. Typical Hyundai key. I like this smaller version a lot better versus what we saw in the recently updated Kona. It's got everything you want to lock, unlock, hatch button, panic button, and a smart park. So we'll go ahead, lock it, hold this button to start it up remotely. There it goes. And we'll do smart park. You just hold this forward button. You can see it straightens the wheels. And here in just a moment, it's going to start moving forward. It can move up to a full parking space forward or backward. So if someone parks too close to you, you can get in and out very easily. When we had the Kona, we also had that smart park feature, and it was very nice. After we parked, got the kid out and everything, we were able to pull it into the space in front of us because that spot was now vacated. I really like it, but there you can see we've got the full distance that one will travel. It'll also go backwards as well. Since we've got this remotely started, I can also show you another feature I really like of Hyundai products. We do have the passive entry here on the front doors, but when you get in after remote starting it, it senses that the key is in the vehicle with you. Parking completed, everything is on, and yeah, the vehicle is now running. I don't have to push the engine start stop button. It knows, okay, you remote started the vehicle, great. You're in the vehicle with the key, great. Love that feature, and that applies to all Hyundai products. Here we do have 2-person memory on the driver's seat. All of our controls here on the door. I'm actually gonna pop out really quickly. I didn't want it to turn off before I was able to show you that feature. A lot of gloss black here, which is a little bit of a downside for me. A lot of gloss black here as well. Not my favorite, but I do like the mixed use materials here on the inside. We've got this cloth material that does go over to the dash as well. And then all this H-TEX simulated leather, or leatherette as they call it. You can see we've got some storage down here. Window controls here, express up down on the front, but not the back. Window lockout control. Multi-way positional front seat with 2-way lumbar. And then again, H-TEX leatherette seating, heated and ventilated front seats. Those settings are not remembered, so you have to turn them on anytime you get in the vehicle, but they are very nice. They are very comfortable. And even though they are in this light color, it hasn't been a problem with us and our kid in the week that we've had this one so far. Now, climbing back in, closing the door, looking over my left knee, you've got your brightness control for your gauges and infotainment, your hatch button and traction control over here. Like how it's not just overly cluttered with a bunch of buttons over here. We get two 10.25-inch screens in this vehicle. That is something that is a little outdated. Even the smaller Kona now gets dual 12.3-inch screens. So that does make this seem just a little bit old in the Hyundai lineup, but it is still very competitive within the class. I really like the cohesive design of the dash that goes all the way down the side here and across to the other door. It's a very clean, very nice look here. Get a very unique steering wheel with all your buttons for controls up here, and your driver assistance tech. Very interesting new layout here with these cubes on the gauge cluster. You can switch this to a traditional round dial look, but very interesting new updated look here. You can see 463 miles so far, most of them highway miles, 25.5 mpg, and 12.5 hours of the engine being on. 8-speed automatic does have paddle shifters back here. They are plastic, but that's all right in a sub $40,000 vehicle. Very nice infotainment system. You can see all the typical Hyundai stuff. It is very quick and easy to use, but unfortunately, it is a wired CarPlay unit with USB-A. You'll only get USB-A ports in here, so that is a slight knock to it. Again, showing the age, the Hyundai Kona is the first vehicle to eventually get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That'll be an over-the-air update coming down later. Unfortunately, no physical controls in this. These are all haptic controls. So again, gloss black. You can see all the dust on it already just in a few days of owning it or possessing it, and no volume roller on this one, which it's not great for me. You do get this on the steering wheel. I just wish it's so easy just to turn a knob or a roller wheel. Tuning, not so much, because everybody uses Apple CarPlay now, I think, but that volume knob is missed. You get touch sensitive controls for your dual zone climate as well. Very easy to use. A little bit of storage here, your Qi wireless charger right here. A row of buttons for your heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, downhill descent control, your parking sensor button right there. Camera button, full 360 cameras on this. Really like the cameras. They do a great job. You can even hit this button right here and go into all of the settings for that very quickly and easily from this parking screen. And of course, you get trajectory. When you put it in reverse, this automatically comes on as well. Very nice. Down here, we've got your center diff lock, which really just tells the vehicle, hey, keep it in all-wheel drive. It's not like a true locking differential. Your button here to turn off the auto start stop in traffic, and a toggle switch for all your different drive modes. You can see we've got normal, sport, smart, and snow. Smart learns how you drive and adapts to your driving behavior. We're going to leave it in normal for now. Push button controls for that 8-speed automatic. Not my favorite, but not terrible either. But they are all push buttons. So some manufacturers like General Motors and like Honda kind of differentiate the buttons that make you move versus the ones that make you stop. Electronic parking brake, brake hold button, 2 cup holders with pass-through here. Decent sized center console. You can see it is actually quite deep. There is a little mat down there to keep stuff from rattling. Nice glove box here. It is damped, but not lined with felt. And then a very clean look up here. Coming to me, I've got plenty of headroom, even with this panoramic glass roof above me. It does have a power rolling shade that kind of takes a while, but generally really like it. I don't like how the switch is dual function, so if you accidentally pull too far back on it, the roof opens. On a kind of rainy day, when you want the skylight open, but not the glass open, you gotta be very careful with this switch. Otherwise, very calm, very comfortable, very nice front seat, but let's pop out and see what the back seat is like. Sitting behind myself at 5'10", see how much room is back there in this compact crossover from Hyundai. Very nice back seat. You can see a continuation of the design here on the door. More gloss black, more of that cloth and leatherette. We do get heated outboard seats here, 2 mode with your window button. Again, more gloss black. Not my favorite, but we'll let that one slide. And then you get a 60-40 split bench rear seat. You already saw me fold it down. This is its most upright position. Let's see if anyone actually wants to sit in there like this. I mean, it's okay, but I feel like I'm in the back of a very small truck with an upright seat. You can recline very nicely. Oh, this is how I would ride. It does cut into that cargo space, but as we already touched on, it's quite roomy back there. My view now is a great view out of the massive panoramic roof. There are actually 2 panes of glass, but my view is mostly out of the front pane. Really like just how scenic it is back here. It's a very nice view. We get hard plastic on the backs of the seats, which works well for Tucker when he's back here kicking the seats. We get some map nets or cargo nets on the back, and we get a little bit of storage in the door too for cup holders. On the back of the center console is our air vents and USB-A plugs back here. No USB-C anywhere in this vehicle. We also get a fold-down center armrest with a couple cup holders that is tied to the secondary side, the 60% side of the back seat. And if you want to see how easy it is to install this, be sure and hit the subscribe button so you can see our family review when that drops later this week. That's enough of the tour. Let's hop behind the wheel and see how this one drives. All right, I told you it's a little anemic, but other than that, is it the only trade-off? Let's see. Setting off could not be easier. Push the drive button and off you go. Again, this really is a very fun, practical, affordable, luxurious, very nice vehicle to own, to have, to drive. It's everything you would expect in a very popular segment, competing against the like of Chevy Equinox, Toyota RAV4, Honda CR-V, those just being the heaviest of hitters, with Toyota and Honda really leading the segment. This really is a solid entry to consider cross-shopping against those. The ride on it is very nice. I really like how you've got those blind spot cameras when you put your blinker on. That gives you a view over your shoulder into your blind spots. There's a lot of really good tech baked into this one as well. But as we get out here in a real life situation where I'm going to have to pull out in front of or around traffic in a city urban environment, but as we get out here in a real life scenario, we're going to see what that little 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4 is really like, and you'll see what I mean by being just a little anemic. We're going to go ahead, set out and go. I mean, it's good, not great. You really have to rev it out to get going. It's not going to leave you in a lurch in traffic situations. It's not going to put you in trouble. It's just a little underpowered. And a vehicle in 2024, in something in this size class, in something in this price class, I really expect something with a 2 in front of that horsepower number. Other than that, this is a joy to drive. It is calm, quiet, comfortable, not too loud, though under hard acceleration you can hear that 4-cylinder kind of speak up to you, but otherwise it's a very good vehicle. The steering is good with weight to it that does not feel too light and will make you just pilot this around with confidence. We just went over railroad tracks. I've got no complaints. Very calm, very composed, very quiet, very comfortable, with plenty of room to spare for everyone inside of this. I really do think this is one heck of a bargain in the segment. And if you are not cross-shopping this against RAV4 and Honda CR-V, you're doing yourself a huge disservice, because I'd have to say this is one of the best bargains in the segment. As this one sits, fully loaded, limited, all-wheel drive, we are just under 40,000. And when you see the videos that we've got coming out next on the channel, you'll see just how much of a bargain this is against something maybe a little more purpose-built off-road ready, which does kind of compete with this, but is in the subcompact class. A little teaser to what we have coming for you soon. Otherwise, yes, I really like this. It's been a blast to drive. We've put over 450 miles on it. It's been comfortable for every single one of them. If you want to see Holly's thoughts on this, because she was the one to actually take this on the road trip, absolutely hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you are notified when that video drops next. Go find us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube. And all of that is at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me, in perhaps one of the best Hyundai products on the road, the best bang for your buck, perhaps in this compact class, until next time, gearheads. Bye. Solid entry, Hyundai. Good job. I could ignore all the small things for everything that you do right in this, which is a lot. My goodness, come on now.